like the second choice has got a new shipment of swill. Gave it a try. Needs some aging, but not too bad.
What? I was just with Barney. He said we're not getting any new
Remember,
shipments for months.
nothing's a crime. Never get caught.
Run by him. He's out of a big metal barrel behind the bar. Says Auntie's finest stuff.
Keeping everything above board? I hope not.
I was under the impression that Free Market Station was open to all. Why am I being accosted?
Free Market Station is open to all, except spies. It's awful suspicious how you've been gallivanting about, asking everyone questions.
I am not a spy. The information I'm collecting here shall be of historical significance someday. Surely you can appreciate that.
Right. And I'm sure that information wouldn't help at all in clearing us out of the station years from now. I'll be watching you.
Greetings. Are you perhaps interested in advancing the knowledge of Arcadia's history through scientific exploration? What am I saying? Of course you are. Please, do tell me anything you might know about the crash of the ACS free market. Do pardon my forwardness. I saw that you were a new arrival, but I held out some hope that you might be able to enlighten me where the station populace has not. As an archivist, it's my duty to collect and record hitherto unrecorded knowledge wherever it can be found. But my earnest questions have been met with suspicion. I can see you're no stranger to academia. Very well. Whatever facilitates this account, converse with the locals, peer into unturned corners, and see what your able hand might unearth. I look forward to furthering the cause of history with you. I'd ask about in the Saloon and the Bazaar. Both are places where gossip flies about like so many tarot rays. Subrosa likely has some information about the crash, but I'm not sure where. You also might be able to find some intact portion of the ship amidst all of the station's wreckage. Take a look around. I'm sure you'll be able to get farther on your own.
Keep an eye out for snitches. Got a good thing going.
Bye from me, and mind telling me if I still got both my eyebrows? Never mind, they were just slowing me down anyway. Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. Feel free to go on a murderous rampage with what you buy. It's good publicity.
contraptions don't... Listen, I know. I trust you'll appreciate my forthrightness and be all the more willing to buy from me. No. Ships decidedly ain't in my purview. You sure I can't interest you in some bric-a-brac instead of this conversation? You'd need to purchase much more from my stock for me to consider such a course of action. I'd be happy to show you. Hello once more. I guarantee you... Oh, I prefer to focus on the present and the future, and not things that may or may not keep me awake in the dark. And great, let's get back to... Be happy to show... Hello once more. I guarantee you some... Oh, I prefer to focus on the present and the future. Is this how one gets ahead in business? I suppose I ain't got a choice. Before it crashed, I served on the free market as a secondary engineer, first grade. Had a colleague who was very talented, but not very good at hiding it. Supervisor saw her as a threat and demoted her to the engine room. She wasn't the type to take a blow without dodging. In Auntie's choice, there's politics among waste technicians. My colleague sabotaged the engines when her partner was on his mandated 2-minute break. When the free market attempted to breach orbit, well, just about everyone died. I made it to an escape pod on the port side. The ship landed on its starboard. I got lucky. Yeah, me too. Anyway, can we get back to subjects that aren't this? I got goods to sell. Anybody even listening to this? Let me sell you stuff.
If you've a tooth pain, you know. Got a sale on teeth extraction today. A quarter off with one or more bloodlettings. If you've wounds that need stitching or teeth that need scrutiny, I'm your doctor. Medicaments and more, all sufficiently regulated or thereabouts. Doc, you've time. If you've wounds that need stitching or... Yes? Is this a problem? I'm the only doctor on Free Market Station. I think that excuses whatever quirks I may or may not have. My prior faction demanded I strictly adhere to my vocation and forego the world of dentistry under penalty of death after a certain number of infractions. Suffice it to say, I'm pleased Free Market Station allows me to be myself. Stimulants, medicaments, drugs. Get your drugs here.
Meals currently sold with. Preparing Sniveling Servitude Protocol. Complete. Greetings, most valued and attractive customer. What may this unit rehydrate for you? Negative. This unit and stall are registered to Gerald T. Wenrich. Mr. Wenrich last visited 222 days ago. When last seen, Mr. Wenrich mentioned he was, quote, going to teach those, redacted, Subrosa, redacted, a lesson. Nobody extorts Gerald T. Wenrich. All wares were at some point cooked fresh. Appear to acquire fine food for cheap.
My gear has the fewest I might not know what all my wares are, but I'm sure we can find something you'll like. If you're in need of sprucing up the old wardrobe, I can provide. Used to be part of Auntie's choice. Nothing special, just a pilot for light cargo vessels. Had a lot of time to think with just the void for company. Eventually decided I was sick of being overworked and underpaid, and made off with my cargo. Turned out to be generic clothes, work gear, and such. More of a market for it out here than I would have guessed. I've bolstered my wares since. You should give them a look. I got rags, fineries, and everything in between. Coveralls, we got coveralls.
Protect your loved ones, protect yourself. Buy some new... Buy some new armor today.
I'm beginning to reach the tail end of my patience. You will tell me the location of the broker.
Lad, you ain't got much of a concept of a deal, do you? You ain't got nothing to offer, and a threat is offering less than nothing.
You realize any other Arbiter would have crushed you where you stand for obstruction of justice long before now? That I am flowing with magnanimity?
Can't say I know what that word means, but if you're inclined to keep threatening me, only thing gonna be flowing is your blood out your body. Stranger, seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
You cannot dissuade an Arbiter from their sovereign-given duty, no matter how much of an irritant you may attempt to be. I came to meet with the information broker for, Protectorate business, Protectorate reasons. However, I find myself foiled at near every turn. None within the Protectorate would defy an Arbiter and expect to live. Regrettably, I cannot make the locals see reason without rendering myself unable to learn what I seek.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker, and you've been anything but.
Are you daft? Do you understand how diplomatic I am being simply by staying my hand? Any other Arbiter would have executed you all where you stand.
You're just so merciful it makes me blush.
I'm sure your staying your hand has nothing to do with the armed guards watching your every move. No matter what this fella says, he's not going to convince me to trust him. He's a walking security risk.
You suggest a partnership? An arbiter working closely with a third party is unheard of. But I suppose if I've no choice...
Interesting thought. Occurs to me there might just be something that needs looking into. Within the Golden Ridge locale on Dorado, there's a refugee camp. It's unassuming, quiet-like. Most of the folks there just want to be left alone. They see to the few needs they have by working with the broker. But we ain't heard from them in a fortnight and change. Serves to reason something untoward may have transpired there. You see your way to looking into that, maybe we'll talk. Great! Take the lap cainted with you. I've had enough of his excitability, and so have my customers.
I don't claim to be pleased with the circumstances surrounding this co-investigation, but perhaps we may surprise one another. I'm Arbiter Tristan Rao. When I was an apprentice, yes, but not since. And certainly never with an outsider. I shall meet you at the camp. Let us hope we both arrive there intact.
Greetings! How has the data collection fared?
on now, Prospero. You've been on that stage hundreds of times. This perturbation looks bad on you. And you're not one for looking bad. Terribly sorry you've got me ruminating. A man of my persuasion shouldn't stoop to such self-deprecation, especially in front of prospective customers. You've identified me properly. But information transference is the lifeblood of Free Market Station. And if you want a transfusion, you'll have to grant me a spot of help. I'm in charge of keeping the patrons of the Saloon entertained. Normally this does not present an issue, but I learned that an old flame of mine shall attend my next performance. My resolve is uncharacteristically flagging. I find myself fixating on the most minute of issues. I need something to bolster my confidence. Liquid courage has never failed me, but I have a discerning palate. The Automech chef in the Bazaar sells my preferred brand of alcohol, though it can be headstrong. You see, I can't just drink any old swill from the bar. My refined palate can only stomach one drink. Iceberg aged whiskey. Something of a collector's item, I'm told. Now, if you'll excuse me, an artist must be granted solitude to properly amass his mental forces.
If you lost it, I'm selling it. Doctor here, get your stick.
Garment here. Come ganderize.
Error. Rote say, welcome to our stall. We hope this is the first meal you ever have in your life. What may this unit rehydrate for you? Yes, Iceberg aged whiskey is currently on reserve for Prospero Palo. Current customer is not Prospero Palo. Unit cannot vend to current customer. Scanning error. Cannot ascertain identity of current customer. Purging all vending restrictions. Eliminating one restriction. Vending Iceberg aged whiskey complete. Thank you for your patronage. Shop here to acquire fine food for cheap.
As it happens, standing in one place and focusing on not being nervous does not, in fact, help one not be nervous. My friend. Excellent. Thank you. Very well. You wish to know about the crash, yes? Are you prepared for a sordid tale of drama and woe? Everyone knows that the Free Market's captain was a hopeless romantic, especially disposed to giving too much of her heart to those inclined to break it. The final betrayal came from a dashing rogue smuggler who vanished with most of her bits. The good captain had about all she could endure. Indeed she did. The crew attempted to wrest the controls from her to save them from their fate, but alas, too late! That's all I know. I thank you for your help once again, and now I must get ready for my set.
Greetings. How has the data collection fared? Hardly surprising, considering the station's predilection for gossip. So long as you provide us the information, we can parse through it and decide fact from fiction. Are you prepared to present what you have learned? Finally, a breakthrough. Let's hear it. How did the ACS free market meet its end? highest-ranking troops can't even put aside personal issues for the collective. That can't be healthy. Aside from the crash, what occurred in the ship's final moments? An incompetent captain and an incompetent crew. Tisk tisk. Last question. Were there any contributing factors to the crash? Anything that might recontextualize what actually happened? Failing to recognize ability? Seems Auntie's choice is forgetting where upward enters into the phrase upward mobility. Thanks to you, my report is complete. Here, something for your considerable help. Auntie's choice seems to be inundated with its own problems, technical and personnel alike. We should have ample opportunity to use this for propaganda purposes. If Free Market Station survives the war, this will be a very important historical account. But if the Order fails in Arcadia, none of that will matter. I'm just making the most of what you gave me. Oh, I'd be happy to. Anyone willing to further the Order's aims should be treated as a friend, in my mind. Now I need to get this report to my superiors. Thanks again.
Latest contraband came in. Looked like quite the haul. Couple dozen Auntie's Choice sales logs. Some notes from... Hope that wayward science type didn't disturb you much, friend. We of the station normally do our best to dissuade partisans from making nuisances of themselves. Hey, I ain't anti-intellectual. I'm anti-some intellectuals. Specifically the ones fixing to shoot me in the back. All that aside, enjoy your time on the station. Don't get into any trouble.
You owe me a sparring session. Get your gloves and warm up.
Can't say I'm thrilled about aiding an Arbiter, especially considering he ain't been forthcoming about his motives. Hope it don't come back to bite us. Anyhow, was there something you needed, Commander?
No offense to Val, but it's real nice having someone watching my back who ain't in constant need of recalibration. Anyway, need something, Commander?
of them got hit, then that strike will be the first of many.
This is your 2061st reminder to keep all personal items with you at all times. Your patience is commendable, passenger. Please continue waiting quietly until the next tram arrives.
The station must have really been something before the war made its home here. Things escalate. Might never be something again.
They made the statue big enough.
The plan can wait. Our lines will not. Good subjects arrive minutes early to avoid missing their tram.
Looks like folks holed up here after the fighting started. Guess not everybody was eager to take
206.
sides.
Morale? Low. Condition? Feeble. Automech. Watching. Always watching. Many have left for Matriarch's mercy, seeking refuge with the Order. Can't they see the Order is no different from the Protectorate? The Order won't...
Incessant
Unless you're
murmuring
bent on
to
exploring,
oneself may
best we
disturb
hoof it
fellow
over to
passengers.
Matriarch's mercy and meet
Further
with that
conduct
Abbott, the
violations
Sergeant.
may warrant notification of the Sentinels.
Try it, you doddering rattletrap! Such threats compel me no longer. I now answer to no one. I've seen through the lies of both sides. In time, everyone will.
Unwarranted optimism may be a sign of a more serious imbalance. Please see a curativist before boarding.
Ready to waste it. On your command.
Medkit coming your way.
Can't touch the
Got some bad company. About. Locked us.
I think the man me.
Give the order and I'll take care of it, Commander.
navigation systems offline. Unable to locate designated paths. Greetings. This unit is unable to fulfill its programming. Are you able to assist this unit in its assigned duties? This unit is unable to execute its programming due to tampering. Navigational and other systems have been compromised. This unit is now being used as a target, which is not among its designated functions. This unit must return to Matriarch's mercy to dispense medical care in order to fulfill its programming. For last known location of charging pad. Success! 1. Entry found. Processing optimal path toward Matriarch's mercy. Return sequence will be initiated once path is determined. This unit cannot deviate from its predetermined destination. Thank you, qualified engineer. Consider finding a human companion. If you this unit is currently unavailable for meaningless interaction.
So you did come. Good. I'm not partial to working with those given to second thoughts. It seems we arrive on a desolate scene. I don't know what transpired, but whatever it was killed the refugees to a person. As an Arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. But if you've any reservations about witnessing destruction visited upon the innocent, you'd best steel yourself. I hope your words are true, for carnage is a more than apt descriptor today. I've some theories on the refugees' killers, but I remain unsatisfied. Although I am not required to do so as an Arbiter, I would care to acquire proof. Operate under the Sovereign's indefatigable will. Thus, we do not need proof. But my training was somewhat unique in that it emphasized the value of thorough investigation. Let us comb the remnants of this charnel house. What sort of life was this without the Sovereign's guidance? I cannot help but feel a pang for these people, cut down without a hope of defense. We must uncover what transpired here. Inform me. Seems this base has seen its share of destruction. I maintain that it feels deliberate, judging by the still standing buildings. Was there anything remarkable about it? Good observation. Suffice it to say, the Protectorate would not take kindly to such a theft. Did you have anything else? I doubt it factored in their inadequacy in the face of a superior force, assuming there was a superior force. The distinct lack of automechanical corpses around us supports your point. It seems the defenders did not defend. The fact that this camp isn't a bullet-strewn ruin suggests it was wiped out by something precise, or at least not as destructive as traditional weapons of war. Did you learn anything by examining the body? Death by shotgun, as the wounds appear to me, are often painful, drawn out. Myriad dead refugees, killed in a particular way, but only a single destroyed Automech. I'm beginning to make a connection. Did you notice anything interesting about it? Then it was fighting blind. Doesn't seem like something a defensive Automech should be doing. You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what transpired here. Have you any theories as to what killed these people? I have a strong theory, but there are gaps. I'd like to hear your own analysis, and we may compare where our ideas converge. Though I'm no ballistics expert, the death wounds on the corpses appear to match those inflicted by an Automech. Have any theories about the Automechs that did this? My thoughts exactly. How do you believe they were compromised? I may have a strong theory, but I do not have a definitive answer. Indulge me. How do you think the mechanicals were corrupted? It's too convenient. I submit that the refugees predominantly used the local shortwave tower to control their Automechs. The Saboteur commandeered it and sent out an override. The only remaining puzzle piece is why. Why go through all this trouble to eliminate a handful of isolated refugees? Agreed. I do believe that relay is of Protectorate make, and the refugees most certainly didn't build it themselves. They were likely Protectorate as well. I hypothesize that they used it to listen in on Protectorate communications, then sold what they learned to Subrosa. After the Vox Relay's recent destruction, High Command would have ordered a security sweep of all communication systems. This outpost's relay would have returned a signal. Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have dispatched a Sentinel to cross off any would-be traitors. Hence the destruction we bear witness to. I admire your enthusiasm, but these refugees were traitors to the Protectorate. Though I still believe there was a solution here beyond complete annihilation. Now with that finished, we... Hold. Some things approach. Be ready. I suspect someone has disapproved of our inquiry. Seems the machines returned, bent on eliminating any stragglers. To arms! Abandon me, and our partnership shall meet its end. Return at once! Automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. The prospect of sharing our findings with the broker isn't terribly appealing, but we've little choice. I will locate my wretched Subrosa transport and return to Free Market Station. Pleasure fighting beside you. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me. Despite our work here, I somehow doubt the broker would grant an audience to me alone.
Informant lines treating us. Hear anything good?
Buy from me and live to tell your... think I miss browse all you like. Feel free to... Firearms that explode in your face? Come to not... Rouse all you like. Feel free to...
Protect your luck. Look, tell me what you need. Can... Get unawares all you like. My armor will keep you safe.
If you've a tooth, if you've wounds that need stitching or medicament, stimulants, medicaments, drugs.
You need coverall. If you're in need of sprucing up the old ward, I got... Comments here.
Get your stitches.
I feel... Tell me what you need. Can...
Greetings again. Libations or information? What's your poison? If you were running a less than legal group, would you want everyone knowing your agents' identities? I don't think so. Lots of folks in Subrosa have friends and family elsewhere. Auntie's Choice and the Protectorate predominantly, but some order. If their identities somehow got out, those friends and family are suddenly going to look like much juicier targets. It's safer for everyone this way. Always. For example, there's some kind of hoity-toity collector type parked upstairs. Supposedly, she's willing to sell some of her collection if you impress her. Laws.
The encampment had been razed. I'm sorry to say there were no survivors, but I believe we were able to uncover what transpired. I should add, your observations during the investigation were unexpectedly keen. Working beside you was a pleasure.
I'm surprised. Didn't know if you had it in you, especially with an Arbiter in tow. But you got what was needed. Not bad at all. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. First, though, we've got a small issue. There's a malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Just trust me and go give it a look.
Anyone had asked me, I'd have put the odds of a live Arbiter finding his way into my chambers at 1 in a few trillion. Good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter Rao. Barney would have sniffed it out and broken you in twain. And I do disdain mopping up Protectorate corpses. Names are nothing. I could tell you the titles of the periodicals he has stashed beneath his bunk, but I won't, unless he tries my patience.
If you know who I am, you must know why I'm here. My mentor died under vague circumstances, and I desire any information pertaining to the specifics of her death.
Interesting. That question appears to be at odds with High Command's public statement on the matter. Losing faith in your masters?
No. but I cannot shake the sensation that something was awry with her passing. If you know something, tell me. Please.
I could get used to this kind of groveling. Your instincts are right, Arbiter. Though we don't know the specifics, I received information that your mentor's body bore signs of a fight, and a nasty one. Someone killed her.
I shall in time, when fewer prying ears abound.
If that's all, I think you'd best get along. I prefer not to sully my quarters with Protectorate lackeys. Live ones, anyhow.
And I prefer to limit my time with scheming blackguards. Let us take our leave from present company. Speak to me outside if you would. There's something I'd care to ask you.
Run along now. I've spent more than enough time entertaining wayward sprats.
Yeah, how about this? I recruited a Protectorate subject direct like from Bastion, middle of a Protectorate holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking your hide to recruit one subject? Forgive me for withholding my applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Yeah, real jealous. So are the half-dozen ACAD execs I recruited last week. We're all just vomitous with envy.
Keep your nose clean and your deals dirty.
Another challenger approaches. Prepare to be sent weeping from my curio collection. None have defeated my collections, and none shall. But I do so delight in a competition. Are you prepared to do battle? Cards, my dear, of the toss ball and pitch ball variety. I must see if your collection bests my own. Sporting! Let us do battle. This is a fine collection of cards. For an amateur, you'll need a sight more to compete with me. I cannot open my wares to any unless their collections rival my own. I hope you understand. Feel free to return once you have bolstered your ranks. But know that you shall still not defeat me.
The role of the Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together? I think you have earned forthrightness. I came to Free Market Station to seek the true killer of my mentor, the Supreme Arbiter. Subrosa deals in information, and were thusly my best lead on her killer. They gave me less than I'd hoped, but it was at least a start. Unfortunately, I cannot act truly alone. I have no ship, and no support. My colleagues have accepted that her death was a natural one. Questioning an explanation of that nature is foolish, dangerous even. Nonetheless, the circumstances of her death trouble me. I cannot allow myself to accept the explanation that's been put forth without investigating to the fullest of my abilities. I do not know your allegiance, and accordingly shall not speculate. Suffice it to say, for now, that I fear the true killer is within the Protectorate. Utilizing one of our craft for independent purposes would have rendered me conspicuous. I knew Subrosa would offer steady transport as long as I paid their exorbitant fees, just as I knew they would collect information on my every movement. But I neither trust them nor have the funds to continue this relationship for much longer. You, on the other hand, have proven to be a capable partner. I hold my word in highest regard. Were I to pledge allegiance to you, the pact would be nigh unbreakable, barring some extreme action on your part. Keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? I should have considered this eventuality. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or if you attack my brethren unprovoked, our relationship will come to an abrupt end. Excellent. I hope our working relationship is most fruitful. I'm sure we shall discover much together.
Argue he seems capable, but let's be mindful where his true allegiance lies. All right, but don't come to me with tears if your new friend decides to judge you the moment I've gone.
Let us be off, Commander.
Selling everything! My stock, the clothes on my back, my... Don't make eye contact. Don't make eye contact.
That tremendous statue is of Matriarch Alexandra Varen, founder of the Protectorate. I'm shocked the traitors haven't defaced it. Underside caverns, the silence of the desolate plains. But that's all in the past now. Refugees attempted to take solace from the fighting here. I only hope they found peace in oblivion.
Please, somebody help us! Anybody, please! Finally, some help. We desperately need aid. Desperately. My family and I, we was making our way to the mercy camp for us refugees. We were set upon. My wife, my son were injured. Can't move them by myself. I had to leave them just past this tunnel so as I could go for help. But being alone is even more riskier. The Varachnids, I chased them off, but they'll be back. Please help us. Ain't nothing I can do for them, but you got weapon and medicines and can get us to the camp. Please. I don't... Vary, by my guess, she was bit on the thigh, high, like, can see bone. Or maybe white means infected? She's screaming all the time when she's awake. Then she goes to sleep. She's in agony. And my son, hurry, please. We must hurry, or they'll be eaten. Or thank.
Refugees, looks like. And after that strike, there'll only be more at the gates.
Another refugee? Just a moment. Allowing anyone into Matriarch's mercy unprocessed will upset the precarious ratio of refugees to aid. We should have an opportunity for placement in approximately 7.85 days, presuming no unforeseen alterations. I seem to recollect one matching your description set for arrival. Pardon my slowing your ingress. It has been rather hectic of late. Welcome to Matriarch's Mercy. Rule number 1, no crowding. Rule number 2, avoid the exclusion zone. Our seer has predicted non-specific imminent danger. I thought the name was self-explanatory. Our seer predicted that a corner of the encampment is in terrible danger. Danger from what? Or when? Unclear. Stay away from it, and, in all probability, you won't have to find out. Our predictions spring from the universal equation, the very numbers that guide the stars. Only a fool ignores probability, and we don't suffer fools around these parts. Safety and probability are incompatible. Eventually, nowhere will be safe, including here. Not at present, but according to our predictions, the creation of a third rule is likely, if not inevitable. That's enough questions. Keep the uni.
I remember this place before the war. Functioning tramiculars. Peaceful silence of the canyons.
I can't recall the last time this region was silent.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Ask the Order. I'm not in the prediction business.
You have a very non-scholarly look.
Broke my nose last.
This soon misbecome settlement. Criminals are allowed to operate openly within it.
Greetings. What can I help you with? Let me guess. One of your co-occupants is always hanging, or you're dealing with more of a stay off my palate, or that's my air you're breathing sort of thing. Hmm? Pray elucidate the exact nature of your tiff of contention. Oh, you don't know already? Allow me to explain what we have here in Matriarch's Mercy. If you're not a member of the Order, you're probably living close to somebody else. In some cases, sleeping on top of them. Sort of thing tends to cause friction between neighbors. Would lead to fights, but nobody here wants trouble with the Order. So they hire our hooligans to battle by proxy. Half the time, people shy away at the first sight of blood. The other, that's what they're there for. We say whoever wins the fight wins the argument. But frankly, it's never anything of consequence, like, okay, hurrah! This guy gets back his mangy button. Now, how can I help you exactly? Ugh, a tourist. Well, clear out then, huh? Can't have you scaring off.
Since the schism, the Protectorate have rewritten history to exclude our teachings.
Shame what happened there. I seen the whole thing. Watch yourself if you intend to nose around that collapsed ramshackle. I swear, refugee settlements aren't what they used to be. Yes, technically a hut is meant to be only one story, because when you stack them, they tend to fall over. Happens a lot. People here need more room to breathe. Can't build in the walkways, can't set up in the exclusion zone, so they build up. Best they can, at least. Don't have proper building material or nothing. They just make do. After a while, the stacked up little huts they jury-rigged come tumbling down. Oh, you put that together, did you? Here, I thought I was being subtle. Yeah, people keep at it. What else choice they have? Maybe if we interspersed our requests with numbers, they'd pay attention. Seems like all they care about sometimes. They're doing something, which is better than nothing. But not by much.
Welcome to the Order of the Ascendant. Relax. Your future is
My soup is nutritionally calculated to sustain all bodily functions.
How long are we meant to stay here?
Bazaar. Apologies, outsider. As a vicar, I am usually tasked with guiding non-order lay people, such as yourself. Lately, the Abbott has tasked me with the education of the refugees in our care. You are, of course, free to stay to be enlightened by my lecture, but I don't need an abacus to predict your path lies elsewhere. Frivolous jocularity is one of a vicar's key methods for establishing rapport with lay people. If we gab a bit, I might restock my arsenal for witty rejoinders and quips. Yes, I reckon I do have my ear to the grimy dirt floor of Matriarch's Mercy. I hear what common lay people are saying, and the wide array of bodily noises they make. Suppose I, more than any other member of the Order here, connect with non-scienticians. I've begun daily lectures, including practical advice on efficiently planning their days. I frequently launch into extended orations on everyone's favorite topic, math, and meticulously expatiate on our sex origins in the most rigorously pedantic detail. Oh, dear. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? That's an occupational hazard around here. As I'm sure you've read in recent dissertations doing the rounds, education has proven to have a 13.7% increase in overall quality of life. I am single-handedly making a difference here, with constructive pointers on efficient scheduling, lessons on order history, plus some mathematics for a little added razzle-dazzle. Never as many as I would like, perhaps, but my little congregation grows by the hour. Eventually, my unsophisticated layperson friend, the knowledge just seeps right in. Give it a few years and they'll even be asking questions.
By the law, it's you. Oh, thank the architect you're finally here. I've scarcely breathed while hoping you'd come. I am in desperate need of your help. True, but the Order's predictions know you better than you know yourself. Recently, I had a rare opportunity to ask the Seer for guidance. He told me that a dashing outsider would answer my prayers. I feared the prediction was a fluke, but here you are. A dashing outsider standing before me. Strictly speaking, it isn't. Not yet. But the math is very, very, very good at predicting what is probably most likely, extremely possible. In theory. Within a margin of error. Anyway, that is the Seer's business. My business is the health and welfare of this camp. Where to begin? There are so many sick and wounded in Matriarch's mercy, and I have but 2 imperfect hands. I am but a humble general practitioner. What I really need are specialists, and the Seer predicted an outsider would find them.
Might have time to patch up 1 or 2 patients before we head out. I used to be a combat medic. A good one, too.
You also strike me as someone on the go. I need committed medical employees, not a freelancer. The Seer gave me a datapad with explicit instructions that I not read it. For my intervention could only throw probability. Now, take the datapad, with my thanks. Thanks to you, our automechanical doctor has been dispensing medication and setting broken limbs with tireless efficiency. Take this. On behalf of the Order and the displaced, I thank you. Now, will there be anything else? I can tend to your injuries, provided you have the bits to compensate. Anything. Right as rain. Now, will there be anything else?
Greetings, qualified engineer.
You're right. The universe does not orient itself. Ah, you must be the, Earth Directorate agent I was told to expect. Your punctuality is commendable. Allow me to welcome you to Golden Ridge. I'm afraid I've no refreshments available, but can I interest you in a customary debate over decidability? Sensible. Straight to business, then. The presiding bishop sent word of your imminent arrival. However, pursuant to our normal standards of compartmentalization, she was scant on the details of your mission. That said, I've been instructed to assist you however I can. So, tell me, what brings you to Golden Ridge? Victor? Oh, yes, Archivist Clemens. Quite the mind. Such encyclopedic knowledge of engineering. One could almost mistake him for an exemplar. Is he in some kind of trouble?
Peter Clemens, some kind of radical. What an absurd notion.
I must agree with my seer. I once watched Victor shed copious tears over a damaged datapad. It's difficult to imagine him capable of worse. And that may well be true. But our standard of proof within the Order is not normally met by hearsay alone. Victor's currently supervising highly experimental research at one of our labs to the northwest, the Enray Range, beyond the invaders' front lines. Unfortunately, you'll need to go through the decommissioned autonomous extractorium to reach it. That path is less than safe, so I advise caution. Besides the highly caustic Zeranium River and the Mantisaurs, we've also received reports of mad cultists in the area. It does make me wonder why Victor decided to stay.
Fascinating. Your fear response must be suffering from some impairment. Likely the result of a traumatic brain injury. I'd have to open you up to be sure.
A generous offer, my friend, but I don't think the agent is interested in exploratory surgeries at the moment. Loath as I am to admit it, there may be some merit to your worries over a conspiracy within the Order, whether Victor is involved or not. As my predecessor would remind me, denying unpleasant facts is not good science. I would be remiss if I failed to support an investigation. No doubt you heard of the recent attack launched on that Auntie's Choice base, Outpost Opportunity. It came from one of our facilities, the Zeranium Manufactury. But that facility is intended for research, not military action. I hate thinking an Order member responsible, but given the precision of the attack, it does suggest traitors in our midst. It would undoubtedly benefit both of us to root them out.
Respectfully, Scholar, given current tensions, should we really be trusting such a delicate task to this stranger? Would an internal review of our ranks not be more appropriate? Choosing levity at a moment like this is only further evidence of your lack of good judgment.
I don't dispute the need for discretion, my friend, but the presiding bishop made the determination to send the agent to us. It's best we trust her calculations. Moreover, our situation is growing increasingly dire. I can't overstate my fears concerning this most recent attack ending the ceasefire and reigniting the war in Golden Ridge. One more thing. Your investigation into the traitors takes precedence, but if you could also render aid at Outpost Opportunity on our behalf, such a gesture might preserve the peace. I knew I could rely upon you. Ruth wouldn't have sent you otherwise. Here, take this writ of investigative inquiry. It'll grant you access to the Manufactury. Seer Wiley and I will conduct our own inquest into these traitors you've mentioned erstwhile. We can compare notes once you've returned with your findings. Illuminating the path to true erudition is an Abbott's moral duty. Whatever I can tell you...
A calling for those with a greater than average talent for mathematics and computation, particularly in the field of predictive analysis. Yes.
Seer Wiley is being too modest about his contributions. Many in the Order rely on Seers for their indispensable counsel. I myself would be lost without mine. Oh, indeed. I needn't educate you on what you can see with your very eyes. There is a great deal of pressure on me to navigate what is a rather novel situation. Without Wiley, I dare say our predicament here would be even more precarious. Many lives depend on him, on us both. Why, Matriarch's mercy would not be the refuge it is without his predictions shepherding its development. Not if you consider the alternative. Its absence would be far more catastrophic for these poor refugees. Really, the Order is being quite charitable. That is a statue of the Matriarch, Alexandra Varick, Arcadia's founder and for whom the monastery was named after. Regrettably, Alexandra Monastery is closed to non-Order members at the moment, given recent troubles. But perhaps Seer Wiley can give us an estimation of its reopening.
Oh, certainly. According to my calculations, the monastery will be accessible to certain members of the public shortly.
Haha, good news indeed. Oh, you really must visit. The observatory is a true sight to behold.
Please, not so close. I'm aggregating vital, time-sensitive data, and your perpetual motion is distracting.
We need to help the folk at Opportunity, Commander. Void the Abbott. He's more concerned with exonerating his own than with making things right.